With modern times, he criticized capitalism without a conscience. And that's what we have now. We have capitalism without a conscience. He showed the common man being fed through gears of the brutal, dehumanizing industrial age. He took on the American right wing of his day, its worst evils: hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. We are fighting those same evils today. In America, in the United Kingdom, across the globe. And we need to be clear, shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower. It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. Almost half of America at this moment believes there is a sinister deep state diabolically plotting to what? Give them health care? What is the sinister plan here? Sure, I can afford the miracle drug for restless leg syndrome. I should take the pills, I guess. Right now, there are generations growing up right now who are learning to lie. That lying is okay. That we are parentless. You know? And we are babysat by the television. We're taught how to think by the television. That's the dangerous time.
Remember when Jim Carrey was just the goofy guy from Ace Ventura? Those days are long gone. The man who once made millions laugh with his wild antics and rubber-faced comedy has transformed into a force to be reckoned with. An anti-Trump warrior whose latest takedown is setting the internet ablaze. Carrey didn't just criticize Trump, he obliterated him, combining razor-sharp wit with brutal artwork that's leaving everyone in awe and shock. Quick favor, if you're enjoying this content, give the video a like and hit that subscribe button. Shockingly, over 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It costs nothing but means everything to us. Subscribed already? Awesome. Thank you for your support. Now, back to the main event. Remember when Jim Carrey was just the guy talking through his butt cheeks in The Cable Guy? Well, those days are history, folks. The comedian who became a household name for his wacky physical comedy in Ace Ventura, and The Mask has evolved into something his 90s fans never saw coming. A fierce political voice who's not afraid to take a bite out of anyone standing in the way of progress. Carrey's transformation isn't just about words, it's about action, or rather, art. His scathing critiques of Trump come alive through paintings that depict the former president as everything from a rabid dog to a wicked witch straight out of a nightmare. These creations aren't just provocative, they're powerful, forcing viewers to confront uncomfortable truths while delivering them wrapped in dark humor. And let's talk about the impact. Whether you love or hate his new persona, there's no denying Carrey's ability to stir up conversation. Social media lit up faster than a 4th of July fireworks display after he shared his latest masterpiece. Some praised him for speaking truth to power, others criticized him for crossing lines. But one thing's certain, nobody ignored it. This isn't just a celebrity throwing shade, it's a passionate citizen using his platform to spark change. Carrey's messages go beyond mere mockery. They challenge us to think critically about leadership, integrity, and the state of our democracy. By channeling his creativity into biting satire, he's proving that laughter can still pack a punch, even in the face of serious issues.
You know, this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And all, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face.
I mean, a lot of it, really, truly.
Yeah.
That is the way
My secret is making the wrong choices, but committing completely.
No, I don't think you have. My favorite movie, and I love many of them, is Cable.
Trump is toast.
I like that one.
Trump is toast.
Yeah, man. And so you just kind of digest the news of the
it's
day.
It's an affirmation. Working, not working. Oh, they got you coming and going, man.
Jim Carrey's journey from goofball to anti-Trump crusader didn't happen overnight. Before he was painting scathing caricatures of the orange president, Carrey was just dipping his toes into political waters during the Bush administration. Back then, his occasional jabs at politicians were subtle and lighthearted, comments that elicited polite laughs at Hollywood fundraisers but barely registered on the public radar. In those days, most fans were too busy quoting "alrighty then" to notice Carrey's quietly evolving political conscience. But beneath the surface, something was brewing. While Carrey was making us laugh with his over-the-top antics on screen, his personal life was leading him down a path of deeper reflection. After battling depression for years, Carrey began exploring spirituality and questioning societal structures. Around 2008, in interviews promoting his films, he started mentioning concerns about corporate influence in politics. But these comments were often overshadowed by questions about his next comedy role or quirky impressions. By the time Trump entered the scene, Carrey was already primed to take action. What began as quiet reflections had evolved into a fierce determination to use his platform for more than laughs. His art became his weapon, turning sharp critiques into vivid paintings that captured the absurdity and danger of Trump's presidency. From portraying Trump as a rabid dog to depicting him as a wicked witch, Carrey's work wasn't just satire. It was a call to action, urging people to see beyond the spectacle and confront the reality of what was unfolding. So while Jim Carrey may no longer be the guy talking through his butt cheeks, though we'll always have the cable guy, his evolution shows us the power of using one's voice, whether through comedy, art, or sheer audacity, to stand up against injustice. And as his brushstrokes continue to ignite debates and inspire change, it's clear that this former king of chaos has found a new purpose, one that resonates far beyond the world of slapstick.
You got to speak, man. You can't, this is not a time to clam up, and not a time to get frightened. You have to do what you have to do. This is dire. I just want to express it in a positive way. I want to turn everything painful into art.
You react to the pipe bombs. Are you afraid personally ever?
Apparently, I was threatened on Twitter, so I don't know. I didn't see the thing. I heard there was, some severed goat head, and I'll see you soon kind of thing. I can break bread with anybody in this country. I love people in this country. I love the heartland of this country. It has nothing to do with that. These really negative forces like the Steve Bannons of the world are convincing us that we're separate, that we're not the same country, that there's two countries. There's not two countries. It has to do with, it's become obvious that the choice was a bad one. We just need to change it. And if you can't vote for a Democrat, at least let all this flood of information that's so negative. Hard to understand what's going on. I really, one minute you feel like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, now the landslide's going to start, and then there'll be some other weaselly little, sidestep they do, or you can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're different. It doesn't mean, the trouble with what's happening right now is these, this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down, and all, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face.
The real turning point came with the 2016 election, when Donald Trump descended that golden escalator to announce his candidacy. Like many comedians, Jim Carrey initially treated it as just another joke, a bizarre sideshow in the world of politics. But as Trump's campaign gained momentum, Carrey's tone began to shift. His comments evolved from bemused quips to genuine alarm bells ringing loud and clear. During a 2016 appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher, Carrey made his first notable anti-Trump statement, calling the candidate a used car salesman with a terrible spray tan. The audience laughed, but if you looked closely, there was something more serious brewing behind Carrey's eyes. A flicker of concern that signaled this wasn't just another punchline for him anymore. After Trump's election, the gloves came off completely. At the 2017 BAFTA Britannia Awards, Carrey delivered an acceptance speech that marked a seismic shift in his public persona. Gone were the jokes and rubber-faced antics. Instead, he stood before the crowd and called out the greed and hatred he believed were killing democracy. It was raw, unfiltered, and heartfelt, a moment that revealed a man genuinely frightened by America's direction. Carrey's Instagram followers noticed the change too. Inspirational quotes and silly selfies gradually gave way to pointed political observations. What started as occasional commentary turned into a steady stream of critiques aimed directly at Trump and his administration. This wasn't wasn't just a celebrity venting online. This was someone leveraging their platform to spark meaningful conversation. What's most fascinating about Carrey's transformation is how he repurposed his comedic talents for political messaging. The same man who could contort his face into impossible expressions now uses those skills to mimic Trump's pouty scowls in videos that go viral overnight. The performer who once made fart jokes is now crafting sophisticated political satire that cuts deeper than most pundits' analyses. He's not just angry, he's strategic, using humor as his weapon of choice to dismantle the absurdity of modern politics. And perhaps that's the greatest trick of all, the ability to turn a rubber face and a knack for absurdity into a voice of reason amidst the noise. For Jim Carrey, the journey from goofy entertainer to political provocateur wasn't just personal, it was necessary, as he continues to wield his talent as a weapon against injustice. One thing remains certain, the man who once said, "Alrighty then," is now saying something far more profound, and it's getting louder with every stroke of his brush and every word of his satire.
It's an affirmation.
I'm glad some good is coming out of this stuff. This is Robert Mueller.
Robert Mueller putting the squeeze on the president. That's Space Force.
That's the Space Force, yeah.
That's the beginning of Space Force. That's right.
He had completely accepted his new position as a political analyst by 2018. He didn't merely express his views on Twitter. He started painting, producing controversial political works that depicted Trump in a number of disparaging situations. These weren't merely juvenile taunts. They were artistic declarations from a person who had obviously been following political events the entire time. Carrey's paintbrushes were preparing for battle, and now the silly guy from Dumb and Dumber was on cable news, quoting philosophers and talking about the dangers to democratic institutions. In fact, the first shot in his war against Trump came from his mouth, and it was a powerful one. He went nuclear with his signature intense stare and animated expressions during a now famous interview with Hollywood reporter Carrey. Not only criticizing the president, he referred to Trump as a vicious dog who was deliberately destroying the United States. Jim Carrey was using all of his expressive power to launch a political takedown, not just another celebrity making fun of him. The White saying that the Trump administration was turning us upside down.
It's an affirmation.
I'm glad some good is coming out of this stuff. This is Robert Mueller.
Robert Mueller putting the squeeze on the president. That's Space Force.
That's the Space Force, yeah.
That's the beginning of Space Force. That's right.
Carrey was immediately dismissed by Trump supporters as just another member of the Hollywood liberal elite who should limit themselves to making goofy faces. It was like watching America split in two over a comedian's opinion, which essentially captures our current political atmosphere. While liberal Twitter hailed Carrey as their new political hero, MAGA Twitter erupted with irate tweets demanding boycotts of his films. In addition to its harsh language, Carrey's rabid dog comment was powerful because it encapsulated Trump's leadership style in a metaphorical way. A rabid dog is dangerous, unpredictable, and unruly. Carrey's opinion of Trump's presidency was exactly that.
Makes me feel good.
When you were a kid, would you draw caricatures of your friends, etc.?
I did. I drew pictures of my teacher.
Oh, really?
And I don't
How'd
have
that
any of
go
those
over?
with me. She actually stole. Wow, look at this. I can do anything with it. Not working. Oh, they got you coming and going, man. You know what I mean?
That is remarkable, I have to say.
Incredible transformation.
It is an incredible transformation. Who was the teacher
Watch
you
this.
drew? Oh, yeah, all right.
Carrey was immediately dismissed by Trump supporters as just another member of the Hollywood liberal elite who should limit themselves to making goofy faces. It was like watching America split in two over a comedian's opinion, which essentially captures our current political atmosphere. While liberal Twitter hailed Carrey as their new political hero, MAGA Twitter erupted with irate tweets demanding boycotts of his films. In addition to its harsh language, Carrey's rabid dog comment was powerful because it encapsulated Trump's leadership style in a metaphorical way. A rabid dog is dangerous, unpredictable, and unruly. Carrey's opinion of Trump's presidency was exactly that. The metaphor conveyed a serious message that Trump was a real threat to the country, even though it was easy enough for anyone to understand. Carrey's delivery of these lines was even more impressive. This wasn't Ace Ventura's silly, rubber-faced comedian. What might have been written off as just another celebrity opinion was given more weight by his serious tone and intense facial expressions. What really irritated irritated some people was that the man who had made us laugh for decades was now forcing us to think. Social media became a battleground. According to a Trump supporter, Jim Carrey used to be funny but is now merely resentful and cruel.
Well, good morning, Hitler.
This is a bad angle for me. It's just a bad angle for me.
No, you look good. Yeah.
Stay away from this angle right here.
We can swap
got a
if you
giant
need.
screen there with the worst angle I've ever seen in my life.
Well, yeah.
I get home. Yeah. Phones, I'll be asleep before my head hits the limo seat.
Can I make you more comfortable? Maybe you'd like to lay your head on this phone.
Axes in her head and things like that. Yeah. It's like I hadn't learned how to be correct yet. Yeah, she took them all.
Comment section of every article about the interview became a microcosm of America's divided political landscape, with Carrey's supporters applauding him for speaking truth to power and having the guts to say what others won't. However, many people overlooked how calculated Carrey's approach was in all the outrage. He made headlines by using such offensive language, and by delivering it so passionately, he made sure the video would become widely shared. For those who had been following Carrey's changing political voice, the man who had made a career out of studying what causes people to react was using those same abilities to political commentary, and it worked brilliantly. Although the rabid dog remark wasn't entirely unexpected, it did mark a significant increase in visibility and tone. He was no longer merely making passing political remarks. He was daring everyone and putting his flag firmly in the anti-Trump camp to confront him. Carrey decided that his verbal abuse of Trump was insufficient, so he grabbed a paintbrush and went all out. While many celebrities dabble in painting stick figures or dull landscapes, Carrey went straight for the political target with a series of portraits that had Trump supporters clutching their pearls. Who knew the man who once spoke through his butt cheeks was secretly harboring serious artistic talent? The president is depicted as a green-faced wicked witch of the West when Ace Ventura is given art supplies and political rage. To make matters even stranger, Carrey also portrayed Trump as literal toast. Yes, real toast that was crusty on the edges and seemed ready to be thrown in the trash. Nor were these merely arbitrary doodles. Carrey knew exactly what he was doing when he used flying monkeys to surround his witch Trump, using metaphors that were so clear that even the most politically indifferent viewer could understand what he was saying. As traditional political cartoonists drew the typical caricatures with big hair and orange skin, Carrey was going